Reports from Iran are sending shockwaves around the world. Security forces are accused of storming hospitals, attacking wounded protesters, and arresting patients during an intensifying nationwide crackdown. What is really happening on the ground? Iran is facing growing international scrutiny after disturbing reports emerged that security forces have targeted hospitals while attempting to suppress ongoing protests. According to eyewitnesses, human rights groups, and international media, wounded protesters seeking medical treatment were allegedly attacked, detained, or forcibly removed from hospitals by security forces. Protests across Iran have intensified in recent weeks, fueled by public anger over political repression, economic hardship, and restrictions on civil freedoms. What began as street demonstrations has now reportedly extended into medical facilities, raising serious concerns about human rights and international law. Witnesses describe security personnel entering hospitals in riot gear, firing tear gas, and searching wards for injured demonstrators. In several reported cases, wounded protesters were allegedly arrested directly from hospital beds. Medical staff who attempted to intervene or provide care were reportedly threatened or assaulted. Hospitals, which are traditionally protected spaces under international humanitarian norms, are now being described as unsafe zones. Doctors and nurses have reportedly been forced to treat patients in secrecy or move the injured to private locations out of fear of retaliation. Medical professionals have also reported an overwhelming number of injuries, particularly gunshot wounds to the head, chest, and eyes. Some hospitals are said to be operating under extreme pressure, with limited resources and constant fear of security raids. Iranian authorities have not fully acknowledged these allegations and maintain that security forces are acting to restore order and prevent violence. State media claims that protesters are linked to foreign interference and insists that law enforcement actions are lawful and necessary. However, human rights organizations argue that the reported actions represent a severe escalation in the government's response. Targeting wounded civilians and medical facilities is widely viewed as a violation of international law and could amount to serious human rights abuses. The situation is made more difficult to verify due to widespread internet restrictions and media controls inside Iran. Despite this, videos, testimonies, and reports from multiple independent sources suggest a consistent pattern of violent repression. International reaction has been swift. Several governments and global organizations have condemned the alleged attacks on hospitals and civilians. Calls for independent investigations, accountability, and increased diplomatic pressure on Tehran are growing louder. Some countries have warned that continued violence could lead to additional sanctions, further isolating Iran at a time when its economy is already under severe strain. Analysts warn that escalating repression could deepen instability inside the country and increase tensions with the international community. For many Iranians, the reported hospital raids symbolize a breaking point, a moment when even places meant for healing are no longer safe. As protests continue, the human cost of the crackdown appears to be rising, with civilians, medical workers, and families caught in the middle. In summary, the situation in Iran is becoming increasingly alarming. Reports of security forces storming hospitals and targeting wounded protesters have intensified global concern and raised serious questions about human rights and accountability. As the world watches closely, the coming days will be critical. Whether through international pressure, diplomatic action, or internal change, the response to these events could shape Iran's future and its relationship with the global community. Stay informed, because stories like this remind us how quickly unrest can escalate and why independent reporting matters more than ever.